Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Author's Corner at Ahmedabad Book Fair. On behalf of Vitasta Publishing, I invite you here. And thank you very much, Ahmedabad Book Club, for giving us this opportunity to be in Ahmedabad, to be with you people, and giving our author an opportunity to speak to all of you. Ahmedabad Book Club is, I have been knowing about them from quite some time, and they are the most active and the only book club of Ahmedabad, and they have been very much, helping us in promoting reading culture and book culture. So thank you, Khurshid ma'am, for this opportunity. તો હું તમને બધાને થેન્ક્સ કહેવા માંગુ છું અમદાવાદ વાસીઓને કે આટલા 43 ડિગ્રી ટેમ્પરેચર્સમાં આટલું ઓડિયન્સ આવવું અહીંયા it is not a normal thing. It's a rare situation. So it's the Ahmedabad's spirit dekhai hai. And before we start, I want to congratulate every one of you. Just a big hand for all of you. So now I'll just introduce my author first, Rajeshwari Chauhan. She's a writer and a painter. She is basically based out of Gujarat only, Baroda-based author, and we have done her debut novel, Daniel's Diary, and just in, I would say, 3 or 4 months of the book being published, she has already become a known name in the literary world. So, and of course, very important, she is a very creative person. She has been writing, not just writing is not the only hobby she has. She is a very good painter also. And now today we'll be talking about her book, Daniel's Diary.
I'm very happy to be here. I wish good afternoon, namaskar, and I'm also thankful that everybody has braved Ahmedabad heat to be present here. And I'm sure that we'll be speaking in Gujarati as well. Since the book is in English, we will be speaking in English also. My book, Daniel's Diary, has been released since 3 months, and I'm here to speak about the book.
Well, start with Rajeshwari. As I already mentioned that in 3 or 4 months, the book has become already a known name. There are a lot of people in the industry, literary figures who have been talking about the book, who are writing about it. So in such a short time, you have quite a become, a little from
blogosphere. In blogosphere, my book is being talked about.
So how do you feel about it?
Well, it feels great. I feel humbled and blessed that it has been received very nicely. I was expecting it to do well because I had worked hard, but I was not expecting it to do well so quickly. It has sprung a surprise for me since it has been selected by Lahore University as a reference book in literature section, so that was a great high, and I really feel humbled and honored.
I would like you to share about your book. आप अपनी book के बारे में खुद ही
Yes.
एक short briefing दे तो would be a good.
Okay, I'll tell you what Daniel's diary is all about. The book jacket, you can see it's here with a dagger and all. It's a story which has two parallel tracks. આ વાર્તાની અંદર બે પેરેલલ વાર્તાઓ છે, જેની અંદર એક વાર્તા હિસ્ટોરિકલ એજમાં છે અને બીજી વાર્તા મોડર્ન એજમાં છે. So I have given a diary form. When diary is being read, the readers are transported into the Mughal era, and when otherwise the modern story track goes on. Should I tell about the book? Okay, I'll tell you what Daniel's diary is all about. The story begins with the Sumangar Palace, that is the modern age. It's getting converted into a heritage hotel. So the restoration work, and especially for restoration of old paintings, an artist, Mrinalini, who is the protagonist of the story, is invited to restore the old paintings. While doing her work, she stumbles upon some clues that led her to a Stepwell dungeon. Stepwell is the Baudi. Wow. And ખંડેરમાં એને એક skeleton દેખાય છે. So that Stepwell dungeon has a skeleton of a Portuguese who was imprisoned in that dungeon for murdering a royal court dancer Mahamaya. એક રાજ નર્તકીના મર્ડર માટે એને ત્યાં imprisoned કરવામાં આવ્યો હતો. He has written a diary in the dungeon and also made some wall paintings, fresco, on the dungeon walls. Mrinali is intrigued that why this Daniel de Souza, a Portuguese sailor, a foreigner, killed Mahamaya. So she is intrigued by this murder and she wants to investigate the murder mystery. So she goes clue hunting and she reads the diary. જ્યારે diary ખોલવામાં આવે છે, ત્યારે we are transported 400 years back because Daniel had come from Portugal with his uncle, Father Francis, who had come to India to spread Christianity. He was invited to Agra in Mughal Emperor Akbar's Ibadat Khana, where he used to have religious discourses with different scholars and religious heads. And he was sure, Daniel's uncle was sure that Emperor Akbar would convert to Christianity. Well, Akbar did not embrace Christianity, but he married Daniel's sister Mary, who became Begum Mariam Banu, and she stayed in Akbar's harem. So being a relative, Daniel was privy to ongoings of the Mughal Zanana chambers, and we get first-hand information about the gossips, about the romances, the passions, and going-ons of the Zanana ladies' chambers of Mughal Emperor. And that's quite hilarious because his encounters with maids and the eunuchs, and he has written in a hilarious way. When the diary is closed, the modern story continues. The Mrinalini's investigation, finding the clues, and there are another issues like restoration of the hotel and some ego trips and some blame games, and there are love triangles and love quadrilaterals, and so the story continues. In modern story, I have tackled the issues like environmental issues, lifestyle, which leaves great number of carbon footprints, also animal care, So this is combination of two stories till the mystery is solved. So in the end there is a treasure hunt and even a jigsaw puzzle kind of thing, and it is a participatory book, so everybody can take part. Even readers start joining the treasure hunt and go from clue to clue, so they get involved kind of. I have ensured that it has all the ingredients of a pot boiler, in the sense there is a mystery, there is a history, a romance, humor, and many other self-help tips through the feelings of the characters. So I hope I have summed up the book.
Just because she mentioned about all the different things, emotions which have come up in her book, so I would like to share one, one particular incident from your book. There's this dinner going on. Okay, so एक dinner चाली रही है. Emma, there are all the characters sitting there. There's this character Bubbles. I think he's of some 10 or 12 years old.
Bubbles, that's for Varshno ek badak છે.
And he's always like થોડું મસ્તીખોર કહીએ ને એ ટાઈપનો બાળક છે અને બધા એની સાથે બહુ સ્ટ્રિક્ટ છે, પેરેન્ટ્સ નથી એના. So there's this, અને એ ના ચાહે તો પણ somehow or the other way he'll end up doing something કે કંઈક ને કંઈક આડું અવળું થઈ જાય. So he's just having dinner, બધા બેઠા છે, and the way Rajeshwari has explained that situation કે દમ આલુ કરીમાંથી he was trying with the fork, I guess. Aloo press karwa gyo, and that aloo, because jump, it's like you have mentioned that ping pong paddle, a ping pong ball. Okay, ping pong ball ની જેમ ઉછળીને એ કોઈ બીજાના પ્લેટમાં જાય છે, and every small thing, the way she has tried to cover it really made me laugh like anything. The way it was mentioned. The curry drops fell on the Susan's dress. So there was another lady sitting here, so that aloo falls into her plate, and all her dress is like curry वगैरह any spread thayne, it's all spoiled. And then this Bubbles was really very scared ki how now what's going to happen, everybody is going to scold him. So it's very nicely explained. So she has covered all the emotions in the book, and of course,
yeah, I'll tell you about Bubbles. Bubbles એક એવો બાળક છે જેને જે એના ગ્રેન્ડપેરેન્ટ્સ પાસે રહે છે અને એના ઉપર એના અંકલ આંટી બધાનું બહુ દબાણ છે કે you should perform well in important subjects. Bubbles is inclined towards art and birds and all that, but that's not mainstream. So એના parents નથી, પણ બીજા લોકોનું દબાણ છે. He is being compared to other children who are performing well in academics. So એક subtle hint છે parents માટે કે it's not good to pressurize your children so much, and sometimes they lose their confidence for long term. So Bubbles has contributed a great deal in the humor quotient of the story, because એ બેચારો જેટલું બી સારું કરવા જાય છે હંમેશા એનું કંઈક ગુફત થઈ રહેતો હોય છે.
Rajeshwari Chauhan ma'am, I would like to ask you what inspired you to write this book?
Okay, I'll tell you. As a child, I had seen this beautiful film in which the story was going back and forth. Story agar pachad jati hati, that means it was a reincarnation story. Somehow I liked the idea very much. So when I decided to write this story, I thought I'll copy that style, but I wanted something logical. So I brought in the diary part. So when only diary is opened, we are transported back into those glorious times. And when the diary is closed, the modern story continues. And I wanted two stories. So I selected modern story. I had no problem because we see things happening and issues to write about. But in ancient times, there were many stories which fascinated me, like Rani Rukmati, Baz Bahadur, Bazirao Mastani. And then I zeroed in on Akbar and Jodha. My friends and well-wishers told me that I should not pick this story because recently it has been exploited. But when I read about it, I realized that they have taken only a spark of this great volcanic fire, and it has a potential because this is a secular story, and a Muslim king and a Hindu queen, and their love story had cemented the communal differences, and it was a story that had remained unsung and unnoticed behind the shadows of Taj Mahal, the love story, eternal love story of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz, because Agra is always associated with Taj Mahal. And there was another love story of their grandparents, which was a real love story because nobody dies in between. They both lived their entire lifespan. They stayed together. Their love child became the next emperor. So it was a fabulous love story. This couple in those turbulent times of narrow-mindedness rose above and dissolved the boundaries. They shattered the pot of boiling. They shattered the pot of boiling hatred, and they created bridges between two hostile communities. So I think this story reverberates even in the present age when today's our social fabric has been torn apart by this communal disharmony. So I thought, whatever so far tackled about this love story was not enough. I have given it a mint fresh quality. It's not that I have sold an old wine in new bottle. It's totally different angle, different perspective.
Rajeshwari, why don't you give a little idea about all the characters, I mean the major book, about their qualities, about their, how you have described their, all the characters are so different and all of them have come from one mind. Like, how you were able to think about them and what was going on in your mind at all that time. So all the characters, if you can.
As we already discussed Bubbles, he's a 10-year-old boy who is very mischievous and goofy, but he's good-hearted and he is also interested in hunting clues and offering help. So he is a humorous thing, little. Then there is the protagonist Mrinalini, who is an artist who has come to Sumanga to restore the paintings. She is the one who reads the diary, finds out what happens in the Mughals, what happened between Akbar and Jodha, and why did Daniel murder Mahamaya and all that. She is this enthusiastic, adventurous do-gooder whose goodness sometimes backfires, but she bounces back and she doesn't feel miserable about that. There is another, the hero of the story is Arvind Singh Arrow, who is this flamboyant, stylish, brand-conscious owner of the palace, who is hardly interested in Daniel's diary or heritage structure. He is essentially converting the palace for the money part because he wants to attract the tourists. Then there is this driver Sudesi, who is wise, who is kind of a man of few words and slightly arrogant. But he is very wise because when Mrinalini was given ash, bhabhuti, bhasma by a fakir, he says very nice lines which explains the philosophy of ash. Ash is essentially a symbol of destruction. And why some things give us? Because it reminds us that ये संसार नाशवंत होता है. ये जो धन, वैभव, शरीर, कीर्ति, fame, everything is going to get over. So we must remember all this, that all this is going to go away. इसकी भी भस्म हो जाएगी, and so we can enjoy everything with detachment. So that was the philosophy explained, and that is how it works as a miracle, a placebo thing. So Suraj Singh was intelligent. Then there is Susan. Susan is Arvind Singh's friend, who's an interior decorator. She's a la-di-da person who's very stylish and she's always well turned out. And they are all materialistic people. And Mrinalini is the only good person who's interested in the heritage and history and all that. Okay, now we'll go to historical part. Emperor Akbar, as everybody knows, is the Mughal emperor. He has this tremendous curiosity for science, for literature. In spite of being illiterate, he was interested in literature. He asked his scholars to translate the works, Sanskrit into Persian and Persian into Sanskrit. His interest in art, literature, science, gardens, buildings, sports, everything. Also the downside that he was very cruel at times, and his attack on Chittor was horribly, horribly wrong. I told this story about Akbar and Jodha because it reverberates even today in terms of across the entire length of our Indian subcontinent, length and breadth. In terms of real language, that is a give and take of both the cultures, the Hindu and Muslim. Thanks to this union, we have in sports, in literature, in dance, even cuisine. We eat this food which have Mughlai dum pukt and Hindustani tadka, and even dance, even poetry. So Jodhabai was a proud Hindu princess. She was very uncomfortable in Mughal harem, and she feels that she had been used as a pawn in this political chess that her father and Emperor Akbar played for their personal gain and political gain. It was a marriage of convenience, and she feels used, and she was holding and harboring grudge about it. It took 5 years for her to understand that her husband really cared for her. And there is another character, Mahamaya, who was murdered by Daniel. She is this court dancer of Sumangar. Sumangar is a Rajput kingdom. She is this lady of substance, grace and beauty. She is a combination of creativity and humanity. And she is also a very intelligent person, because when Daniel was heartbroken, and he lamented that in those days it was a custom to speak in kafiya, the internal rhyme. जैसे हमारे दादा दादी ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स बहुत ज्यादा मुहावरे और कहावतें यूज करते हैं, जबकि हमने वो सब छोड़ दिया है. उस जमाने में शेर शायरी कपलेट्स ज्यादा यूज होती थी, तो वो लोग एक दूसरे को ऐसे इंटरनल और काफिया स्टाइल में बातें खाया करते थे. I have turned that into English. So he laments this Daniel that my heart into small pieces, my heart has shattered, and into tiny rags my life tapestry has shattered. So Mahamaya answers in the same lingo, in the same style. She says that only the chosen one get these fragments, and you must turn the pieces into, you must arrange the pieces into mosaic of the remnants. Something she says that means it is a very important lesson of life that if you are disappointed or if your dreams are shattered, you should turn them around. What is required is little bit of creativity, little bit of imagination, and a lot of positive attitude. So that is how. Then there is another character, Chimya. Chimya is Mahamaya's maid, and she is this dark, dusky femme fatale who is a spitfire, and she is, in those narrow-mindedness, she is considered as characterless person because she makes all the males go around her little finger. But if you see her character properly, she has a lot of depth. She calls a spade and makes no bones about it. She doesn't call a spade a screwdriver. So she has this spitfire personality, and she stands out as a feminist, true feminist 400 years back. Then there is Dada Sahib. Dada Sahib is Babel's grandfather, who knows everything about it. He's this royal doyen of royal family, aristocratic person, and very dignified. He explains everything. Suppose the dagger, there is this jade-hilted dagger, he has a story for that. A Wilkinson sword, he has a story for that. There was a bowl which Daniel had painted, hand-painted. So he has a story. So if you ask anything, Dada Sahib has explanation. For example, there was a beautiful wine bowl, and Mrinalini says, why is it having so many pictures inside the glass? And he says that when the wine is poured into the bowl, with the moment of the liquid, the nymphs, the semi-nude ladies will come alive, and it will give the visual stimulation to the person who drinks the wine. And because of the wide rim, the wine will touch all the parts of the mouth, stimulating all the taste buds. So Dada Sahib also has an interesting role to play. I suppose I've told about it.
Out of all these characters, if suppose the movie made or something, a play, and if you are asked to choose one character, which one would you choose and why?
Which character I'll play? Mrinalini is the artist and I'm also an artist, so there are a lot of similarities between us. But I'll not play Mrinalini. I'll play Mahamaya because Mahamaya has this grace, this beauty, and she's a dancer. So the choreographer will make some moves for me. So I'll have to do some Kathak dance and I'll get to wear those peshwas and this pearl strings and all that. So I like that. And what better way than conveying your love and express it through subtle gestures and stolen glances in those days. So I'd love to play Mahamaya. Also, Mahamaya dies, so audience will have sympathy with me.
Anybody from the audience would like to add on anything on characters or anything before I move on to the next?
You talked about the characters. It is going the plot and the characters with the more of an imagination or the research, in the making book was work or an imagination. What sort way you just gathered everything and came out?
When I had decided to write a story, as I told you earlier, that it had to have 2 tracks. The other tracks I just started with the Sumangal Palace and the characters began to appear on their own. This Coco uncle, there is this curator and all, they came on their own. But when I was writing Jodha Akbar track, I had to do a complete research because I didn't want anything to be unauthentic. I don't want anything to be bizarre. For example, recently I read a book in which it's a quite popular story and she's a very popular writer, historical fiction writer, and she has mentioned Akbar's time people are drinking tea on regular basis. Now that was not the case because tea was brought to India by Britishers. So such things I didn't want and I had done the research. I borrowed, I bought, I bagged, and whatever material I could get on Mughal history, I devoured it. Also the downloads, my drawers were spilling over with them. And I had some beautiful real photographs from the royal libraries. So I had to, wearing gloves, I had to handle them because they were very old and crinkly and all that. They had this blackened powder over it. And also, while writing about Jodha, there was so much contradiction because she was mentioned only as Amber Princess. Nowhere she's mentioned as Jodhabai. Somewhere people say she was Harkabai or she was some other person. In historical documents, she is just mentioned as Amber Princess, and I think it is the fertile imagination of Hindi film script writers that this Jodhabai name has struck. And if you go to Fatehpur Sikri, the tourist guide will take you to a palace and say, "Ye Jodha ki rasoi hai." Whereas in history, Abul Fazl or any other historians, nobody has said there was a person like Jodhabai. Yes, Akbar had married a Hindu princess of Amber, and she was the daughter of King Bharmal or Biharimal, who was a Kuchwaha king. And that was the research.
Okay, I mean, there's one thing I want to know about you. I mean, I have always, since I have started talking to you, I have always observed you having a very keen interest in history. I mean, a few minutes back, before we started, you were speaking to Kusum, and all of a sudden you were like, you were lost in the question of Bajirao Mastani. So, I mean, where did it come from, your so much of love for history?
Yes, Mahila. History is the subject which fascinates me. I was lost here, and as soon as ma'am came and she said she has written Mastani, I suddenly came alive because history is my favorite subject. Since childhood, we were exposed to books. My mother and father had 2 different libraries. Mother's library was in the basement and father's was on the top floor. Now, Mother's Library had this books neatly covered with brown paper and white labels, and she allowed us to read. Though she was very particular, she allowed us to read. But and they were all Rabindranath Tagore, Sharad Babu, Govardhan Ram Tripathi, Munshi Ji, Raman Lal Soni, and she had lovely collection of books, and she used to allow us to read. But Papa, no. He was very strict, and he would not allow us to even enter his library. So it was the case of forbidden fruit. We were like, secretly go there, we'll pick up the book, and his books were not covered. So there were these colorful book jackets, and they were real historical books because he was a student of world history. So there were autobiographies, biographies, history books with photographs, with colorful pictures and footnotes. So we would secretly go and find the books, open and read. So maybe since childhood my mind oscillated between history and fiction, imagination and facts. So that must be the case, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's the reason for your, such a wonderful imagination and the way you have, created the whole plot. You're explaining every small things about that royal era. So, do you give credit to your, belonging to a royal family a little bit, or it's more of your imagination and your interest in history? What?
That's a tricky one. Credit for my imagination. I think I'm an observer. So suppose I saw somebody doing like this, wiping on the sleeve, and I thought, wow, that's nice. It's not meant for anybody. But for me, it is something because one of the character will have that trait. Because body language is very important for me, and I think that makes the characters endearing. There's Bubbles has a lot of things he does. So that is there. Second thing, I suppose, is my irritability. I get irritated very quickly. Small things irritate me. The things which other people are not even bothered about and they will be absolutely happy will make me very irritated. For example, when we were coming from Vadodara to Ahmedabad, I saw a person roll down his car and he threw that Babaji's some packet. And I started saying, and my family members told me not to get upset about it. But I have to do something because I cannot be a bystander and see the treatment to animal or environmental issues. So this irritation, you must have heard something like a happy oyster. A happy oyster with nothing to irritate cannot produce pearls. Oyster होता है, उसके body बहुत नाजुक होता है. So अगर foreign particle उसके अंदर चला जाता है, so उसको बहुत irritation होता है. And to feel comfortable, it secretes its saliva and seals that irritant. So like that, if I cannot do about these things, I have to use my imagination and creativity and seal the irritant. So that is one reason why I write. And another thing is that in this cacophony of electronic things and so much to do and a lot of socializing and partying and all that, we cannot hear the whispers. We all have a universe inside us, and that murmuring brook, we cannot hear the sound. It has to be amplified. So I do this creativity that gives me access to that brook, that stream which is gushing through me. And I tried to plumb it out, and sometimes it's crystal clear, gushing out in full spurts. But sometimes it's just a trickle, and sometimes it's just a drop. The drop is also enough for me, क्योंकि इत्र के शमीम होते हैं. अतर ना खाली छांटना चाहिए, छालकों की कोई जरूरत नहीं होती. So that also is enough for me. Also, when I'm into the zone, even universe helps me. There was this beautiful dialogue. Everybody, it was very popular that जब आप किसी चीज को बड़ी शिद्दत से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात उसे मिलाने की साजिश में लग जाती है. Even jarra jarra, katra katra. That happens. That actually happens. So for that, you have to be in that zone. Because once I'll give you a very ordinary example. I was writing this book and I wanted Daniel to encounter Akbar for the first time. तो मुझे ऐसा था कि अकबर को जब मुगल आजम अकबर को फर्स्ट टाइम देखता है ये फॉरेनर तो he should look impressive. So I was searching the miniatures the particular pose. Sometimes I saw Akbar holding a pink rose, and sometimes I saw that he was holding a falcon. So I was confused कि ये bird पकड़ के बिठाऊं उसको या pink rose. I was so confused. I was not able to decide. Then there was some debate going on, and the person said, "Why should I choose for beauty or brain if I can have both?" He was saying like that. Why should I choose between beauty and brain when I can have both? So I realized that even the rose and the falcon doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. I can also use both. So I showed Akbar holding a falcon in the left hand, and with right hand he's holding the rose and stroking the bird's tail. So that is how it has. The universe conspires. The universe conspires for those people to have debate. That's what I feel and believe.
Rajeshwari?
Ji.
I myself have written a historical novel. I would like to know your experiences in marrying fact and fiction.
Yes.
Because that is the essence of the history.
Essence of the history. Writing about fiction, my horses can go haywire because there is no control on modern thing. I can write anything from A to Z. But when you are writing about history, you have to be very correct about historical facts. You have to adhere to the chronology. So it's akin to joining dots. Dots are already there. Akbar born in this, Akbar was married, Akbar had his son in this year. So you cannot play around the events. I had to join those dots, but in a creative way. What was the creativity and freedom left to me? Between those dots, I could just make a straight line, make a curved line, or make a wavy line. So, only this much was the freedom, but that was better because it narrowed down the frame, and my horses could not go very far, and it was less of a trouble to me because I had to beautify the things within that limit only.
Rajeshwari ma'am, I would like to know whether you are already on to another book, and if you are, then what is the subject?
I am already writing another book. It's also again a marriage of cultures. I'm into the zone, so I'm getting all those badi shiddat se jo mangti hu milta hai. Automatically, universe gives me the material. I'll play a game with everybody. I am writing about a foreigner who became the queen of India, and my hero, and historical. Again, this new story has historical and modern track. So, but I'm talking about the historical thing. My hero is Indian. Is an Indian king. The heroine is foreigner, and their union still reverberates across the Indian subcontinent, length and breadth. Now I'll tell you about her in a clue way. कई समंदर पार, who is the heroine you have to find out? कई समंदर पार से आई गोरी पिया के देश, कई समंदर पार से आई गोरी पिया के देश, रूप विदेशी लेकिन जीवन पूरब का संदेश, रूप विदेशी लेकिन जीवन पूरब का संदेश, लंबी लंबी पलके जिसमें तलवारों के काट, लंबी लंबी पलके जिसमें तलवारों के काट, नीली नीली आंखें जैसे जमुना जी के घाट. Tell, go home, do your research. Please.
Anybody. It could be anybody.
I said no.
Sonia Gandhi.
No, I said Sonia Gandhi is a president. She's not history.
Not a queen. So you have a model that.
नीली नीली आंखें जैसे जमुना जी के घाट.
And when do you think this book would be published, ma'am? Yeah.
It is in its embryonic stage.
Okay.
And I'll have to write it yet.
Oh.
But with your blessings, it will be soon published by with us, the publishing.
Yeah, we wish you good luck.
Thank you.
બધા ગુજરાતીમાં પૂછવા માંગે છે તો આઈ આસ્ક યુ ધીસ ક્વેશ્ચન ઇન ગુજરાતી. તમે જે કેટલા લોકોને ઇન્સ્પાયર કરો છો વિથ યોર ધીસ હિસ્ટોરિકલ એઝ વેલ એઝ અ રોમાન્સ નોવેલ, તો તમે કઈ જગ્યાએ બેસીને આ બુક લખો છો, કયા ટાઈમે લખો છો, અને આ જ્યારે લખો છો ત્યારે હાઉ મચ વોટ ઇઝ યોર diet sort of a thing, or what do you think which feels you, makes you comfortable, which really easy રીતે તમે with confidence લખી શકો. તો just give us an idea about that. અને તમે ઘણા બધા બીજો ક્વેશ્ચન પણ હું સાથે જ પૂછું છું, તમે ઘણા બધા યુથને ઇન્સ્પાયર કરો છો, તો મારું પૂછવાનું તમને એમ છે એ લોકોને તમે શું ટિપ્સ આપશો લખવા માટે, અને કઈ રીતે એ લોકો આવી રીતે એક બુક પબ્લિશ કરી શકે?
How many of you want to become a writer? Oh, very good. I'm happy. Okay. So, okay. See, just to be impressive, just to sound impressive, I can say 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. That was Thomas Alva Edison's line. No, but I'll not tell that, and I'll give you a practical tip. If you are a computer person, techno savvy, you can do it on computer, create a box. But if you are not, then if you are a pen and paper person, take a calendar diary. Just take the front page which has this box with divisions for January, February till December. There are 12 boxes. So on the very first box you write the beginning of the story tentatively, whatever you feel like. And the December box you write the end of the story, and say every story has to have a conflict. कुछ बीच में कुछ होना चाहिए. That you write say in May or June. Now you are in zone. Universe will inspire you. What will go in February will March and all that. So this will be the outline of the story, and then once you are in the zone, automatically your thoughts, everything will be centered around that box. Okay, and the diary has that address and phone number section. There I write my characters, like Mrinalini, like whoever. And then I become a sponge. You will also become like a sponge. You will absorb everything. For example, I said I saw somebody wiping her face on the sleeve, and it goes inside like that. Whatever you see, a word or a picture or a conversation or a film dialogue will fire your imagination, and you will start noting it down. Sometimes you feel, no, this character trait will suit this person more. It will look better on the female. So even in a restaurant, if somebody, once I was sitting in a restaurant and one lady, she was checking her lipstick on a knife like this. So I liked it so much and I gave it to my character. So everything you become a sponge and you start absorbing. So that is the tip. Another is you must write, rewrite and fine tune till you feel the work is perfect. इसलिए कि लिख दिया हो गया. Because God lives in detail and you must beautify each detail. Each detail has to be beautified. One more thing, she said that where do you sit and how you write. So we cannot afford that luxury because you are in zone. Even on the Dunga hill you can write. That is an exaggeration because that zone now everything becomes marginalized. You are into that thing, into the story. So I suggest that don't wait for inspiration or mood, but you must make it a discipline to write. Just write at least 10 pages every day. You must churn out. And if you feel that, I'm having writer's block and my creative juices have dried up, so you must take a corner seat in a restaurant or a bench, secluded bench in the park, or even the steps of some dilapidated building. Anything can do. Even I can write on among this crowd. So you must develop that mindset. Also, don't rely too much on marketing. Marketing is very essential, but your content is more essential. Your book has to be very good. It has to be page turner. It has to be fast paced because marketing will attract the readers. It's like you can drag the horse to the water, but that water has to taste pretty good for the horse to drink it. So your content has to matter. I think that way.
Another question also again I would like to ask you. કોઈને પણ ઓથર બનવું હોય તો મેન્યુસ્ક્રિપ્ટ તો તૈયાર થઈ ગયું, તો એ મેન્યુસ્ક્રિપ્ટને લઈને જવું ક્યાં? પબ્લિશર પાસે કે સેલ્ફ પબ્લિશ કરું? લાઈક યસ્ટરડે આઈ વોઝ સ્પીકિંગ ઓન માય બુક ગાર્ડન ઓફ એન્જલ્સ. ઇટ ઇઝ અ સેલ્ફ પબ્લિશ બુક. ઇટ્સ અ પ્રિન્ટ ઓન ડિમાન્ડ. એક બુક માગો તો એક મળે, 50 માગો તો 50, 5000 માગો તો 5000 મળે. એન્ડ પ્રમોટિંગ એન્ડ માર્કેટિંગ ઇઝ કમ્પ્લીટલી સેલ્ફ, which we do it ourselves. Now there is a difference between both. the self-publishing as well as the mainstream publishing. Both are very good in their own way. તો મારું તમને પૂછવાનું એ છે કે કોઈ પણ ને ઓથર બનવું હોય તો એ લોકોને ગાઈડલાઇન્સ પ્લીઝ આપો, બિકોઝ હિયર ઇઝ વેર મેની પીપલ ગેટ કન્ફ્યુઝ કે એમનું મેન્યુસ્ક્રિપ્ટ રિફ્યુઝ થઈ ગયું તો દે ગેટ સ્ટ્રેન્ડેડ, ફ્રસ્ટ્રેટેડ. તો એના માટે એ લોકોએ શું કરવું, કઈ રીતે આગળ વધવું અને એમની બુક છપાવવા માટે પબ્લિશર કયા લેવા અને કેવી રીતે સિલેક્ટ કરવું કે પછી સેલ્ફ પબ્લિશમાં જવું, શું કરવું? Because many are going for business.
Actually, if your content is good, you can show it to many people. You can send it to different publishers, and you have to wait. Because I know passion and patience doesn't mix well. But if you want something, you will. This is Sai Baba में बोलते हैं श्रद्धा and सबूरी. So अगर आपने अभी सेल्फ पब्लिश किया है तो एक टाइम आएगा कि जब पब्लिशर लेंगे, पर आपके काम में अगर दम है तो वो खुद बोलेगा. एंड देयर आर फ्रस्ट्रेशंस. वन थिंग ना, अगर आपका काम अच्छा है, सपोज आपने एक्सरसाइज की है और मसल्स बनाए हैं, दैट बाइसेप, एंड इफ समबडी प्रेसेस इट, इट विल नॉट पेन. पर ऐसे ही स्वेलिंग आ गया है, जस्ट टेम्पररी, और किसी ने दवा दिया तो इट विल पेन. सो अगर आपका काम अच्छा है, आपने एक्सरसाइज किया है, यू हैव मेड इट नाइस, इफ पब्लिशर रिजेक्ट्स ना, यू कैन से इसको पता नहीं चला, मेरा काम तो अच्छा था. सो दैट कॉन्फिडेंस कम्स व्हेन योर वर्क इज गुड, व्हेन यू हैव पुट इन एफर्ट्स. ऑल्सो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत बहुत पेशेंस की जरूरत होती है. देन इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू बी अ गुड पर्सन, बिकॉज सब कुछ जाकर आप अच्छे हो तो आपके पास अच्छे लोग आएंगे. मैं कभी भी किसी को ना नहीं बोलती हूँ. मुझे सब बच्चे आते हैं कॉलोनी के, दीदी ये लिख दीजिए, वो लिख दीजिए. कभी कभी तो एक टॉपिक के ऊपर मुझे 3 अलग अलग पोएट्री लिख देनी पड़ती है, बिकॉज ऑल द 3 kids are in the same class and they don't want their teacher to find out कि ये किसी से लिखवा के आई हैं. So I never say no. और मुझे मेरे फ्रेंड्स बोलते हैं you must learn to say no and all that. You know आजकल फैशन है टेंशन देने का, लेने का नहीं. You know all this. I think saying no is a very negative word. You get stressed out. कभी पर अगर वो लोग अपना इज्जत नहीं करें, वो कॉलोनी के बच्चे कभी अगर मुझे वो आपने बहुत अच्छा लिखा, ऐसा अप्रिशिएट, कई लोग बोलते, कई नहीं बोलते तो उनका प्रॉब्लम है. दैट्स नॉट योर प्रॉब्लम. सो यू मस्ट बी गुड, यू मस्ट बी हेल्पफुल, बिकॉज वो आपको एक मुहावरा देते हैं और उससे आपका काम अच्छा होता है. इट इज ऑलवेज बेटर टू रस्ट आउट. It is always better to rust out. It is always better to worn out than to rust out. Ravi Shankar Maharaj, how many of you know Ravi Shankar Maharaj of Gujarat? He was a very noble person, a social worker, and he said, "Kasai mein ujda khao." You must give yourself freely to people. So never say no. Never say no. आजकल मैनेजमेंट की स्टडी में बोलाते हैं learn to say no. You don't get stressed out. But I think it is reverse of that which works for me. If you're good, people will come to know. Have patience, have Shraddha and Saburi. What Sai Baba says.
Now it's open to audience. So anybody have questions?
Hello. How do you publish your first? What was the experience? First novel. Your first book was published, and what was your experience at first book?
Well, this is the debut book, and I'm still experiencing it. Within 2-3 months, I started getting reviews, and it has. But even I had my frustrations. Sometimes the editor wanted to remove a word, and I would hang to that word like it was the last lifeboat in sinking Titanic. I would cry, and I was ready to kill for that word. One word can make me cry, and I was ready to kill. So it happens. The frustrations, the disappointments are part of life, but that give you very important lessons. So you must not fear them. They teach you. They make you better person. There are rejections.
I'll just share, one incident about Rajeshwari. I hope you don't mind.
No, I don't mind.
I'll just share one incident about Rajeshwari's book. So most of people will connect over here. There was this statement, I'm just like your cow.
Yeah. I'll explain. I'll explain. What happens that this Daniel is a foreigner. He's a foreigner and he encounters Jodhabai. Now Jodha has just stepped on she has just stepped on a throne. कांटे के ऊपर उसकी टांग पड़ी है and she started doing like this limping. So he's saying, अरे वाह, अब तो बड़ी नृत्यांगना है, because she doesn't know he was showing off in Hindi and she gets very angry. Now this fellow comes to know that this lady is a royal person and I cannot speak like that, and he wants to apologize the way Indians do. Now Indian में जो अगर गाँव में आप देखो तो वो ऐसा बोलेंगे मैं हूँ तुम्हारी गाय छू, माफ कर दो. So he was trying to copy the Indian tribal person, and he went down on his knees and said, "I'm your cow." Now Jodha doesn't know what is cow, so she asked, "Kya?" So he says, "Cow." He started acting and like that. So I thought it would be hilarious, but editors at Vitasta thought, "You cannot speak like this. So I'm your cow." So we had lots of problems.
You know, it doesn't go well with the English language rules and all, so editor wanted to remove it. And we had almost for 2 days there was this
2 days I was crying and said, no, this is very important. मैं आपकी गाय हूँ is a very common thing in India. And you said, no, you cannot say that. And then I wanted that Daniel to do singing action and milking action, and I thought that would be very funny. But they said, no, don't do this. So we had an issue with that.
Anyone else? Yeah, we had to take.
Cow buttons. That's where I'm pursuing.
It's ultimately the author's book first and then the publisher. Anybody wants to ask any question?
Ma'am, what is the definition of a good writer according to you? Because there is a constant debate between critics, like who is a good writer?
Very good question.
One who has a good writing style, one who is good at grammar, or one who has a beautiful flow of narration.
Yeah. Yes. Very good question you asked. Essentially, it is a combination of all. But intention is very important. What is the intention? Some people just wants to write, some people wants to write popular thing, and they will add sleaze, they will take the issue like sensational issue, just to be in the focus. And it's always a short term. And what's your name? Abhishek. Yes, Abhishek. What happens nowadays, due to aggressive marketing, even a very ordinary and average and mediocre book is skyrocketed. It is catapulted to great heights. So we cannot deny that. Marketing can initially lift a book, but essentially a good writer is the one who writes a captivating, interesting story that leaves an aftertaste, lingering aftertaste, and it is intensely written. And intention is very important. Intense.
Just would like to share with you, we have Rajeshwari's book over here. Whoever wants to get it signed by her can just purchase from here. Any last questions? That's it? Okay, fine. To close, I'll ask Rajeshwari the last question. Your message to your readers.
I'm here because of my readers, and I'm very happy, extremely happy for their overwhelming response. And the blogosphere, my book Daniel's Diary is known as DD, with love. So I'm very happy, and if you read books, you must write about it so the authors feel that they are appreciated. The writers feel good if you write the response, and I'm very happy. I'm also thankful for everybody to be very good listeners and to be here. I'm very happy for Vitasta for publishing my books and Ahmedabad Book Fair for having me here and giving me this opportunity to interact. And I'm very thankful to you, ma'am, for being here to encourage us, because this is essentially my debut book. Thank you all very much.
And thank you everyone for joining us here. And Rajeshwari's book Daniel's Diary is available, so whoever wants to take it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajeshwari Ben, for coming here and informing our audience about your book. It's a pleasure. From our Ahmedabad Book Club, and on behalf of Priyanshu Patel, who is the founder of our book club, Khurshid Ma'am, and myself, Ilakshi Patel. We hope to see you in the bestseller list. And if you need any help to be a bestseller, we are always there to help you out. All the best. Cheers. Thank you all of you for joining for this session.